Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're going to talk about 10 animal-themed games that we are hoping can be tournament games.
Yeah.
Because we're hosting our Not Your Average board game tournament that we do every year. And this year's theme is animals, so we picked some games.
It's not animals.
That's true. It's Uncaged!
Yeah, come on. If we're going to pick a theme, you gotta commit.
That's true.
Which
It is
essentially
Uncaged.
means animals.
Which in this case means animals. And I think we had a decent amount of games to choose from. There's some that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
We've got 10 here. We're hoping that we can maybe get this many played. We might not get this many played. It kind of happens over the course of one day, so might end up being a few less, but this would be, if we had all the time, this would be the ideal games that we would pick, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think we needed a combination of them being kind of a little bit more approachable, kind of somewhat easier to learn and play, quicker games, and then games that play 4 or 5, possibly 6 players. So play well at higher player counts as well. And yeah, these were the ones well, I guess I kind of decided. I didn't ask for too much other input, but I had kind of put a list together and we looked at it.
And we have, you probably noticed, like, there's probably some animal games that we probably have or that you think would be an easy hit for this, but like you said, we host this tournament every year and the theme does vary. So sometimes, though, games end up being in the tournament for a different theme, and so we kind of nixed some that had been in a tournament. So like Cascadia is very popular, very approachable, but we had that one last year for Around the World, so we just said, nah, we won't put that one in. So we kind of get creative, I think, in trying to switch it up so that the players get to try something new every year.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments below what you think. If you have some animal-themed games that you think would be great for a tournament, maybe we have to learn more about them. But these are kind of the ones we have. Let us know what you think about them as we go through them if you've never heard of them before. But yeah, I guess the first one, and maybe one that was playing into picking the theme, I think, a little bit.
Was it?
Just because we've had, I don't know, I've had quite a bit of fun with it this year. This is a game that we actually got given to us by Last Night Games. And yeah, it's just kind of been a blast of a game. And this one plays up to 10 players. I think currently we're going to have 10 or less people playing in the tournament, so we could potentially all play this at once. We'll see how that actually plays out, if we do or not. But yeah, this one's just kind of it's a roll and write game.
Yeah.
And it's very much just luck based. There's drafting of these different types of dice.
And there's probably minimal animal involvement. I think the different colored pandas or different colored dice are supposed to be different pandas, but yeah, other than the panda token, probably not the strongest. But
yeah,
it's good because everyone will be able to play, and then we'll get one knocked out. Right,
yeah. You're just taking kind of the scores of what you roll. There's not too much mitigation, so if you're against that kind of game, it might not be your favorite if you want a lot of mitigation in your games. But other than that, it's just fun to see kind of how it rolls out.
Yeah, agreed.
And
should we go on my side next?
Sure.
Should we go back and forth?
We can go back and forth. I didn't really have a specific order. I was just looking at, I couldn't figure out how to make it look good. It still doesn't look good, but I tried.
It's alright. So it looks like then we have Cat in the Box, which he's super cute. I just love this box. It's adorable. So this is a trick-taking game of, I don't even know, a mind-boggling variety. So I'm sure we're going to have a couple of players who are just going to...
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up.
Have a great time with this.
That one is one I'm a little bit more nervous about, but...
Yeah. I think it's fine once you get it, but, like, the concept is foreign, I think, when you are trying to explain it. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes in the tournament. I think 5 of us have played this game who will be in attendance, so that should help a little bit. But yeah, it plays 2 to 5, so that was why it hit some of our criteria, and I think we'll just be playing it on the most simple, basic, non-variant version.
Yeah, and the trick taking the thing that makes this one unique is there's no suits of cards in a way. They're all black. They start as black cards. You play them towards certain suits or colors, but
with
yeah,
limited
there's not
ability.
technically.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, but it will be interesting. It's not. It depends. I don't know if everyone. I'm hoping most of them have played some trick taking game because.
Yeah.
I feel like without playing a trick-taking game, if you don't understand trick-taking to begin with, then that's going to make it even more difficult, I think, to learn.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know.
I think
it's
at
hard.
least 2 of our players have decent card-playing backgrounds on top of us, so that should get us a little bit closer. And then, who knows, there's probably a wild card in our group this year. So.
Yeah. Let us know if you've taught Cat in a Box to someone that's never played a trick-taking game before and how they fared.
I know, I'm trying to remember how the guy who taught us that World Series did it, because he was like, here you go, boom.
Tim?
Yeah.
From
it was
the Dice
like,
Tower?
here you go, boom. And it was like, okay. But then we just tried teaching it to my sister, and I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, it's not that complicated, but
No.
you try and
It's
do
more
it so
of-
it makes sense. And,
It's unfortunately kind of one of those that you probably play once and then play again after you know how to play it. But we'll see how it goes. Then the next one we've got is Bunny Kingdom. This is a card. It's mainly card drafting.
Yep.
And then there's a board with a grid on it.
area control, maybe?
Yeah, it's kind of area control. Kind of. I don't know. You're trying to get clusters. Is that pattern building at all? I don't know. And then you've got kind of some endgame scoring cards that you're drafting as well. So you're trying to work towards those.
And are we playing with the Something in the Sky expansion?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that gets it up to 5 players.
Okay.
And yeah, I think this is just a solid game. I think you just kind of need to know card drafting. There is, like, knowing some of the kind of goal cards that you can draft might be a little bit of an advantage if you've played it a few times. So we'll see how new players do with this one. But I think the concept of this one is pretty simple. If you pick one, G5, put it on G5 on the board. So I think that makes sense. Hopefully it'll make sense to other players. I think the scoring might be a little strange too.
Yeah.
Where you are taking your... I always call them pillars. Whatever the spires?
Yeah, I think they're just castles, but
Castles.
but how many spires they have?
You have to multiply all of those that are in the cluster by the resources. Can get a little strange there maybe. Like, especially if they misunderstand and get like 5 wood ones all in the same one. Technically, it's still one resource.
Yes, that party is so disheartening. So, all right. Then next up we have Finest Fish, also from last night games. Look at us go. So this is a
Pattern building.
Pattern building. Okay, I was gonna say that, but I was nervous, and it's so much taller than me.
I brought it back behind.
Oh, wait. Okay, I see. But it's such a pretty box cover. I didn't want to cover
It is
up
pretty.
the bottom. Okay. So, anyway, it's a pattern builder where you essentially are getting scales for your fish and you're trying to complete patterns on cards and or build large clusters of scales to kind of get you points at the end of the game. And so it's pretty straightforward, but surprisingly a little bit thinkier than you would imagine, I think. Because we first played it and it was like, yep, this is good. And then I think we played it a second time. And once you kind of understand how to get points and like how to optimize it, then it's like, what do I do? What do I do? So I think this is going to be interesting to see how long it's going to take to get through this one. Because what Zach does is he tries to group games of similar length so that one table is playing something and this table is playing something. So I'm like, I don't know, this is either going to go long or it's going to go short. I'm
True.
not sure which
That's
way
kind
it's
of
gonna
one of
go.
the requirements too, is trying to find a few
Yeah.
games that have the same length. So yeah, it'll be some of these. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, yes. But I think this will be a good one. It's super cute. It's fairly straightforward for what it is. So, should be good.
Yeah. But then next we've got Coloretto, which is another drafting game. And this one you're trying to get sets of the same colored chameleons. And you get a certain amount of points based on how many you get. And then, so you get to score 3 of them in a positive way and everything else in a negative way. So you're trying not to take multiple of like the I don't know how to
You want
describe it.
just the right amount,
Right.
and you don't want anything extra. So
Right. To get points.
yeah.
So you're just trying to maximize the points, and in this one you're either taking a group of them from the center of the table, or you're drawing one off the top of the deck and adding it to one of those groups. So there's a little bit of push your luck potential as well with the I could try to add one more. I could either take that or I could try to add one more to it by flipping the top card, but then that might not come back to me, and then I could be stuck with this really bad one.
Yeah.
I always love that in games.
Yep.
Michaela is not a big fan of that.
I think it's going to be interesting, though, because what you can't mitigate sometimes in these games is, like, the newbie plays. Like, seasoned professionals who've played Coloretto probably understand the dynamic or the game theory for it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a new person playing, you just are like, you don't know what they're going to do, so it might completely mess up any plan you had to do.
That's true as well. When you have new players, it can kind of change the meta a little bit, which it's kind of fun sometimes.
It can be.
But sometimes it can also be detrimental.
Yeah.
If in certain games, if you're behind one of those players in order, it can sometimes be good or it can sometimes be bad.
It's just like, why would you do that? That's not a logical choice, but to be fair, they don't always know better. So,
Right.
yeah. So,
Just playing their game.
all right.
And I noticed I had forgotten. I meant to put that on the table, but to get us to 10.
Oh, okay.
So
I was going to say, I didn't know that this one was in the tournament, but did we?
it is.
Did it land in there?
It is. It's just a matter of. I think that this one would be the first to go if we are running short on time.
Sure. Because we have so many other Polyomino games.
Wow.
Just kidding. All right, so we got Barenpark, which is a Polyomino game, as I just said. And in this game, you start with a little grid, and covering the grid with different park pieces can get you either bigger park pieces or more area to build a park, and sometimes some little bear statues. So it's all about, it's kind of a little bit of a, I would say maybe a little bit of a race game.
Mm-hmm.
Just a teeny tiny little bit.
There's a race element.
And then mostly though, it's about getting the biggest pieces for your zoo and getting your zoo done kind of as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's super cute, and I love bears. You get their little habitats, and who doesn't love a Barenpark?
Wow. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's cute.
Yeah. I'm hoping we'll have time. And maybe one of the other ones would go. Who knows?
Yeah.
I know which one you would take out.
That probably wouldn't be my first choice, actually,
This one?
to take it now.
Well, the other one, so I think that's in with like the short games. That's why I think those could be some of the ones that, or maybe one of the other short ones, depending on where we land after the initial games we're playing. But then we've got Dog Lover, which is also in that group as well. And this one is an interesting drafting game. It's similar to, I never remember the name. Is it just Cat Lady?
Cat Lady?
Crazy Cat Lady, Cat Lady. That game. But this one, you kind of have in that one, you're just taking rows and columns, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, you kind of take a shape depending on these trick cards that you have. So it's a little bit different, but then it's just got kind of similar scoring to that one.
Yeah.
You're trying to adopt these dogs pretty much, and then either like take them on walks or collect kind of their toys and stuff for some set collection.
Maximize.
You got to
points.
make sure to feed them as well.
Yep.
So yeah, this is just kind of trying to maximize your points, and I think this one's going to be a pretty quick game. I think that was one of the main reasons to get this one in there, and probably kind of the main reason for some of these other ones as well is they just play quite quickly, and trying to maximize as many games that we can get in there as possible.
Yeah.
We could potentially just have like a tournament of like 5 games, but then sometimes it's like, I might have just had a couple bad games, and you don't really have a chance of winning.
Yeah.
At least that kind of gives you a broader range, throwing in some short games.
Yeah. Agreed. So then we get on to, so we've shown you a couple of the longer ones, but the rest of these are probably the more intense ones. for lack of a better word. But we've got Meadow, and I think I pushed to have this one in here. I feel like it's just so appropriate to put into an uncaged board game tournament. And this one is great. It's tableau building, and I don't know, what did we decide the picking was? Just
the picking. I don't know what that's called. Let us know in the comments below what that picking is if you know it, or it's like also in a game, Quadropolis. It's in that game where you kind of point at something and there's a number on that pointer, and then you take that many over. I don't know what that's called. Let us know in the comments.
Yes, so this is fun because you're getting all different types of animals and using their different symbols to kind of build out your tableau, to aim for goals, and then shoot for points at the end of the game. I feel like it's a fairly quick learn. Maybe probably helps to have a few plays under your belt to maybe understand how it all works. But I think it was good enough. It's kind of that medium weight level, so it'd probably take a little bit longer, but it's already scheduled, I think, to be at 60 minutes anyway, so add on a little bit for some new people, and I think it'll be a little bit longer, but I think it's still one that'll be good and fun and intriguing.
And now that I think about it, the kind of end game where you're just going for points and stuff, I thought that reminded me of something, and I just thought about it. It reminds me of Lanterns. Where you get to the point in the game where it's like, I gotta keep scoring. I gotta keep scoring tokens, otherwise I'm not gonna make it. In this one, it's very similar, where it's like, I gotta try to build a card every time. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 4 points.
You have to have a goal every turn. No turn can be wasted. Yeah.
We might not be that good yet. Maybe you could waste a turn or two, but...
Yeah. Well, I wasted a few the last time we played, and that, let me tell you, was a disaster.
Yes, but hopefully that'll be a good one. Which was the last one you want to talk about? I'll do the other one.
I'll talk about Wingspan.
Oh, okay. The one that I don't even know if you like. But then we've got Evolution, which is actually a game that I gave away as a prize. I don't remember if it was last year's or a year before that. Whatever it might have been. But yeah, this one just, at the time, sounded interesting. I think it was on sale. So that's probably why I ended up getting it. Yeah. And yeah, this is the dynamic game of survival. And I think out of all of these, this might be the only one that has a little bit of a take that element in it. So this is one that we're going to play early in the tournament. It'll be one of the first set of games just to try to avoid that coming into play towards the end of the tournament. And that's another probably thing that we look at as well. If there's any major take that, because... there could be some of those in the tournament, but then they probably have to be early, just so that you can't necessarily gang up on people. But yeah, this one, you're creating animals, kind of managing a tableau as well, and then you give them certain traits to kind of make them, I don't know, either...
or very defensible, or very
either defensive,
predator.
Or make them a predator, possibly make it so that they can, like, reproduce, get their population up and stuff, allow them to eat additional food, which is kind of the main way you're scoring points in the game, is you're trying to eat out of this center pool area, which is also kind of decided at the beginning by everyone playing if card face down.
The watering hole?
The watering hole. I think that's kind of cool how you kind of can affect how much food is going to be in the middle. But yeah, the time we played it most recently, I think the only time we've played it, to kind of get an idea of how this was played, is we always put a ton of food in the middle. So it'll be interesting to see during the tournament if anyone starts...
how sparse it gets.
Yeah, trying to be, put negative amounts in there. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
No one has enough
food.
It's
a weight, though, because you have to decide... because I think what they'll do, though, is like the valuable cards probably are worth less food. Or maybe more. I can't remember exactly, but... that could play into what you decide, because maybe that card is really good for you to have, but it maybe has a lot of food and you might need both, so you have to choose like which one is going to be more valuable to you.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays. This is another one that I think will be on the longer side. I think we were probably going to play it about the same time as Meadow, and I think Finest Fish was the other one at that time. And then the other ones that kind of paired together, I think, were Bunny Kingdom and Wingspan.
Yes.
You can talk about that one.
Our last one, Wingspan. What can I tell you about Wingspan? Who doesn't know what Wingspan is at this point? I mean, it speaks for itself. It's a bird game. It's engine building. It's finesse. It's beautiful. I think that almost everyone probably at the board game tournament has played this. I think some people are very nervous to play this though, because we may or may not have like a person who always wins Wingspan sitting at the table right now.
I don't always win.
They're afraid to play this against you. I know for a fact.
I didn't even make it past the first round in the World Series of board gaming.
I'm afraid to play Wingspan against you, but that's just how different it is, because I would never play in the World Series and expect to have a chance. So, yes, but this is engine building.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit...
What are we playing with? Are we playing with the Europe expansion? Are you going
I think I'm going to play
OG?
with all the cards in there, but I'm not going to play with the Nectar. So if you get a Nectar card, you just throw it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, otherwise I think I'm just going to put all the birds in there.
Oceania, everything?
Yeah. So just not the Oceania board.
Okay.
So that's why we won't have the Nectar. But yeah, this one is one that I've wanted in the tournament for a while.
So long.
Because we had a Card Sharks tournament, so I'm like, oh, that'd be good for that. We had kind of Around the World last year, and I'm like, Wingspan with its expansions kind of around the world. But even now too, I'm a little bit nervous as to how easy. I mean, we do. I think only have one or two people that haven't played it.
Yeah.
But there are some things about it that might be a little bit hard to understand. But I'm hoping it'll be.
You
simple
definitely
enough.
have a better chance with experience with this game than coming into it with no experience. But, you're going to play a hobby board game tournament and expect to win without playing any of these games? I mean, who are you?
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm hoping this will be a good collection of games here for the tournament. Hopefully we can play
What
most of them.
What do you think your chances are of winning based on these games?
My chances of winning? I probably would give myself a good chance of winning.
I love it.
I don't know. I feel like I've played pretty well Cat in the Box, so I don't think I'm coming in. The way our point system works is you get like 4 if it's a 4-player game, you get 4 if you win, 3 if you get second, 2 if you get third, and 1 if you get last.
Ties are fine.
And there's most of these games, even if I don't win, I feel like I would be in like the top 2 in most of them.
Yeah.
But maybe not. You never know. You never know.
It's been a long time since I've seen you come in at exactly like last. Like, even if you're not first, you're usually not last.
That is honestly every time we have this tournament. So we've had it 5 years, and you won once, Jesse won once, and I've won 3 times. That is my strategy going in every year. And I'm like,
just not be last.
Whatever you do, just get second or third, even third if you have to, because it's 1 more point. And it's worked out pretty well. I think some people just try to go for it all, and then they, I don't know.
Well, I'm just glad I'm married to the champ.
But, yeah, we'll see. Might have to change that a little bit. It's a little unfair because I have probably played these the most out of everyone as well. So, might have to give myself a little, I don't know, handicap.
Yeah.
So.
Couple second delay.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think of our game selection for the tournament that we're going to have, and let us know if you have any suggestions on animal-themed games that you think would fit those criteria well.
Or themes for future tournaments.
Yes, let us know in the comments below. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.